wonderful viewers, welcome back to Nancy Maina's Empowerment Hub, where we nurture mental and emotional well-being. Today we have an important topic to explore: emotional resilience. We are going to figure out what is emotional resilience and why we need it. So when I was preparing and planning to shoot this video, I was wondering, I have been explaining what is resilience and different ways that we can build our resilience. So when I was preparing this video, I was extra careful to avoid repetition or confusing the two. So what is emotional resilience? Emotional resilience is the ability to adapt and bounce back from adversity, even in face of intense emotion. So here, one might wonder, which are these intense emotions? Like, why do I need emotional resilience? I am resilient, I can bounce back from any challenge or setback in my life, but why do I really need this emotional resilience? And it is important to consider that we need to be resilient emotionally, especially when we are facing intense emotions that overwhelm us and make us do unthinkable things. For example, one emotion that can be intense is euphoria. This is when we are overwhelmed with joy or excitement. And at this point, when this emotion is too much, we end up neglecting our responsibilities in life. For example, you can receive good news, maybe about winning something or achieving a career goal or just experience something positive in your life, like landing your dream job. When this feeling is so much, one might end up neglecting their responsibilities, their families, their relationships, their goals, because they are unable to handle that intense emotion. Another emotion that can be intense is despair. This is when people have a deep sense of hopelessness or sorrow. It often occurs when people lose their loved ones or they experience a traumatic personal loss. So when this emotion is too much, it becomes overwhelming and people feel paralyzed, where they are unable to interact again with the world. The other emotion which occurs commonly and we end up saying it is a human nature is rage, that fury when you get angry. When this emotion is intense, it can result to physical and verbal outburst. You know, when people get angry and they are unable to manage the emotion, they end up being violent physically, they end up saying hurtful words, which they come to regret later. The other emotion that can be intense is fear. When this emotion is intense, people experience anxiety, they get panic attacks. The fear occurs when people are afraid of change, maybe changing to a new city, changing to a new career, starting something new, or even fear of uncertainty. Now, another emotion that can be too intense is love. I want you to keep it in mind that all these emotions are good, but when they are intense, when they are too much, they overwhelm us, that's when we need the emotional resilience. So, love, when it is too much, it is the intense affection or attachment to someone or something. When this emotion is intense, sometimes people become obsessed and over attached to other people or things, and it can be all time consuming. You know, when people lose their independence, they no longer care about their goals, their responsibilities, because they are obsessed and have intense attachment towards someone. You know, the moment you feel you are lost without someone, you can't do anything without someone, or that's something that you love too much. And now the other emotion that can be intense is guilt. This is a heavy emotion that overwhelms you when you feel like you have wronged someone or you have failed to do something. And this is a very heavy emotion because people tend to replay what they have done or what they have said without letting go, and they might end up feeling unworthy of redemption or forgiveness in life, and this also lowers their self-esteem. Another scenario of an intense emotion is when you are feeling jealous. The intensity of this feeling occurs when someone is feeling insecure and envy because of someone's success, relationship, character, or possession. Therefore, when this feeling is too much, you are unable to interact with others, you get low self esteem, you become resentful, and in other times, you might find yourself having that passive aggressive behavior to people. You know, these scenarios when you find people gossiping, pushing people around, creating traps for others to fail. You even find people doing unthinkable things. Like they can end up committing crime because of that intense jealousy that they cannot manage. Another intense emotion that people can get is gratitude. Gratitude, when it is too much, it is that profound feeling of gratefulness and thankfulness to people. Maybe someone helped you when you were really in need, and you just feel too grateful to a point where you feel indebted and uncomfortable even when you are around them. As a result, you end up overcompensating things. You overcompensate what you do to them, you overcompensate what you say to them, and it ends up feeling unnatural and strained. Another way that you can have an intense emotion is when you are feeling confused. You know, you get confused when you feel lost or uncertain. Sometimes it occurs when you have to make choices in your life and you overthink about possible scenarios that can happen. We get confused when we are faced with multiple life decisions, like decisions regarding your career, your relationship, your work, your family, or even your personal values. So here your mind becomes clouded, preventing you from making any decision at all, leaving you stuck in uncertainty. So the last scenario that I'll point about intense emotion is anticipation. You know, when you have that heightened emotional state of expectation, eagerness, something is going to happen, you are just anticipating about it. And when this feeling is intense, it makes you feel anxious and nervous or overexcited about something, and at the end you end up not enjoying the process at all. So generally, resilience involves you bouncing back from life's adversities, challenges, uh, those difficult situations, whereas emotional resilience focuses on you bouncing back when you're facing intense emotions that are associated with emotional distress. For example, there is emotional distress in relation to fear of failure. With this, we end up feeling inadequate. Also, there is an emotional distress in relation to rejection or criticism. Criticism makes us feel emotional pain and it also hurts our self esteem. Another emotional distress comes with guilt or shame, as this brings emotional burden where we feel responsible for mistakes of not meeting our personal or other people's expectations. Another emotional distress can occur when we are feeling lonely or abandoned. This results to a sad emotion, and people may end up isolating themselves from others, neglecting those who are close to them, and generally feeling unloved. Another emotional distress is when we are experiencing burnout. Here, people experience emotional exhaustion from prolonged stress or feelings of being incapable of coping or managing responsibilities. Another emotional distress is related to regret or missed opportunity. This results to an emotional discomfort, especially when you look back at things and wish that they had gone differently. And this makes us end up feeling disappointed and sorrowful. So, when we have emotional resilience, we are able to adapt and bounce back from intense emotions, hence preventing these emotional distresses. With this, we are able to stay focused, stay calm, and have a positive outlook in life. I don't want this video to be too long so that we can concentrate on what emotional resilience is and why it is very important in life. In our next video, it will be part 2 of this. We will further explore the strategies and practical tips that we can implement to boost our emotional resilience. So, till next time, keep thriving. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when the next video is out. That is next week, Wednesday. Don't forget to like and leave a comment. Until next time, stay inspired.